So welcome everyone and good morning from Portugal. And we are going to talk about this session about the mobility of Erasmus Mundus master degree. I'm not going to tell you about survive or enjoy because actually mobility is the core of Erasmus Mundus, and there is no Erasmus Mundus without the mobility. And what makes Erasmus Mundus is basically the mobility. So let's start. Go next. Okay, so my name is Shatila Algaf, although my name is not so Indonesian. I am an Indonesian and I'm based in the EU. I'm working right now as a community manager at Eudemy, Brussels and Portugal. Basically, my office are both in Porto and Brussels, and so in Germany. Before that, I work as an international consultant also at a private company in Portugal. And then so before that, before the pandemic, let's call it, I studied within Erasmus Mundus Archaeological Material Science. And before that, I studied in Indonesia in the Department of Chemistry in ITS Surabaya. And yes, this is, you can see the list of my mobility within ArchMat. I studied in different countries. I had field and lab visits in different countries as well. I had summer schools in different countries. I also had different international conference. So yes, my Erasmus Mundus was quite tough and very, very dense at that moment. And also it happened before pandemic, fortunately. So I don't know why I cannot go next.
You have to manually click, I guess, somewhere here.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I get it. So the content of my presentation, first one is the concept of the mobility, why Erasmus Mundus have this mobility theme, and then what to expect from your mobility, how to maximize the mobility to expand your career, quick tips and tricks, and then we go to the Q&A. The concept of the mobility. So the Erasmus Mundus started before 2009. So the Erasmus Mundus started at 2009. So before that, the European Commission started Erasmus Exchange within Europe. So all of the, not all, the European students were brought up and moved from one country to another country to study. And then they felt like it was a great success, and they thought about starting it applied to non-European students to have the experience in whole Europe. So that's why the core of the Erasmus Mundus is basically the mobility, because it was based on the original Erasmus, and then started in 2009. And also, this is also to have the Europe without border. You will experience the how to enjoy Europe without any restriction, from move to another country, and basically without any paper. So if you come from Indonesia, in Indonesia it's just like to move from one province to another province without necessary to show your ID, and that's really, really easy. And then, of course, this is the core of the Erasmus Mundus, to feel the European culture and friendship. Well, if you've never come to Europe, you will feel like all of European Union are the same. All of the European countries are the same, but it's not the same. When you live in Mediterranean country, and when you live in Germany country, or in Northern country, or in Slavic country, or Balkan country, they're all different. You will feel different culture, you will feel how they connect each other differently, and basically you will know Europe from its core. And of course, the most important of all is basically the best education scenario, because Erasmus Mundus is basically studying, not traveling. So that's how the education is the most important one. And the mobility, it's what make the scenario of the Erasmus Mundus education seem as well. Why? So the European Commission stated that by supporting these jointly recognized master degrees, the EU aims at fostering excellence and internationalization of the participating institution. There are also scholarships for students to take part in these prestigious programs. The masters themselves offer them the best ranked applicant worldwide. So I'm highlighting fostering excellence, internationalization, the students, these prestigious programs. This is all important because what Erasmus Mundus want to achieve is that first one, excellence and competence. And then, of course, what most important also is the stakeholder and network. So excellence, competence, stakeholders, and network, they're all achieved by the mobility itself. How? Because of these things: universities, laboratories, fields, companies, student facilities, student association, research equipment, instrument. You cannot have this facility if you basically don't move, because somehow one universities they're good at something, but then at another university they're good at something else. So they complement each other. It's not that they complete each other, they're already complete, but it's complement each other. Well, basically like a healthy relationship, not a toxic one. And then this is the knowledge transfer during the mobility. Basically, you would have two different kind of knowledge transfer. The first one, which shaped like pyramid, it's the specialization of the discipline. This is usually when you take a specialization of your degree or your discipline. So the first semester you will study very, very basic, and then second semester you will be more focused, and then until very, very focused on your thesis. But usually for the multidisciplinary, you will study lots of knowledge at the same level, and then in your thesis you will learn a very, very specific topic. So this is usually, the multidisciplinary. There is something that bridges between science and humanities, and this is an example of my case within my consortium, archaeological material science. So you need to highlight the material science because I'm a chemist and I'm not an archaeologist, and material, this is English, so material science is a noun. So please don't ask me why you are here, why you studied archaeological material science because you're a chemist. You're not an archaeology, because actually it's all about material science. So the first semester I studied about material science that correspond to megalithic culture. So I studied in Portugal and Spain. Why? Because Portugal and Spain have lots of megalithic sites, and with the fact that Spain has the biggest excavation site in Atapuerca in Burgos, it's a big reason why I studied in here. So during this first semester, I always traveled from Portugal and Spain many times because I had field works, I had museum visits, and also I studied in Madrid in National Archaeological Museum of Spain. And then the second semester, I studied about material science corresponds to the Hellenic culture. Hellenic means Greek. So what is the best place to study Greek culture if I'm not in Greece? So I studied in Thessaloniki. I studied about Hellenic sites, museums, Hellenic art practices, Hellenic temples, and architecture. In the third semester, I studied about material science corresponds to Roman culture, and there is no best place rather than the Roman Empire capital itself, Rome. So I studied Roman Empire sites, museums, Roman cities, also in Pompeii, Verona, whole Lazio, and other cities that are on Pisa as well. Because I studied in multiple cities in Italy, it was really, really moving all around Italy. And because archaeological material science is basically a multidisciplinary, I had to study analytical chemistry, material chemistry, architecture, painting and art, history of art, all of them. And they need different facilities that sometimes you cannot find it in one country in Europe. So that's why the mobilities is really, really important to boost your knowledge within the multidisciplinary studies. But it's not also that when you study a specialization or centralization, it's also needed to have the mobility, because you can see something in real life. Like, for example, if I studied about the history of Colosseum, the excavation of Colosseum, what's the best place rather than the Colosseum itself to study? So that's it. And then we go to the next chapter about what to expect. In this chapter, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to say you're not only having fun in the mobility. I'm going to tell you the truth. So what to expect within the mobility in Erasmus Mundus. First, the advantages, of course, specific rules, administration, and tiredness and stressful life. First one about the advantages. Of course, you're going to study in minimum 3 universities in different countries, broad networking and connection, experiences to work or conduct experiments in different laboratories, ability to see and experience different environments, opportunity to choose master thesis or internship in the site country or city or company, whatsoever, opportunity to work with different stakeholders, special treatment. So this is special treatment is that thing that you will get only when you're an Erasmus Mundus student. So because I studied archaeological material science, I had access to all museum in the European Union, which was really cool. And about specific rules, it's just happened because the pandemic, the global pandemic, it's not a big thing. You just need to show your green certificate of vaccination. So that's not a big deal, actually. And the administration. This is the burden that you will have. You will need to register every semester. You will need to search a new place, new flat, new apartment every semester. You have laboratory of work introduction every semester because it's going to be different laboratory. You need to register every semester about many things like tax, citizen card, transportation card, university card, student platform, and well, many things that you need to register. As I told you, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to tell you that mobility is all having fun. You need to do something as well. Because it feels like you will move to another city. But the fact is, you also move to another country, which a bit more about registration. And the fact that you're not European, you need to do this. Also, as I said, I'm not going to lie. You will have tiredness and a very stressful life during your Erasmus Mundus. So imagine you need to move every 4 until 6 months, or probably once in 2 months if you have field works. You're not only moving carrying one bag, you're going to carry multiple bags, probably 4 or 5 baggages, and it's not easy. Post-Erasmus syndrome. After your Erasmus finish, you will feel this. You will miss your friends. You will miss how to move from one place to another place, and it caused you difficulties to settling down. Probably you will say that I know I'm already good at settling down. I'm not going to experience this. But once you started to have the habit of moving from one place to another place, it's going to be very difficult for you to settling down in one place. The art of letting go. So after you graduate from your Erasmus Mundus, you also have your master's degree, and you also have your master's degree on art of letting go, because every 6 months you need to let go something that you have, your flat, your neighbors, your favorite cafe, your favorite uh, place to hang out, your metro station, favorite metro station, your university, your teacher, your language classmates. You need to leave all of them. Uncertainty of waiting of documents. Sometimes you need to wait for a long time to wait your resident permit whatsoever, and then end up adapting to different cities or countries fast. Um, for some people who have some trouble on adapting, this could be a very serious problem. Because you need to adapt to different environment. You need to adapt to different friend circle, administration, system of education, and sometimes it is very difficult for you because at the same time you need to study, you need to have a good grade, you need to have everything online together, but at the same time you need to adapt. So it's quite a challenge for you. But well, we go to the next chapter. How to maximize your EM ability to expand your career. Um, Erasmus Mundus is actually a big experiment before you go into your real life. Why? Within your mobility of Erasmus Mundus, you will learn these such things. First, to live in the present but plan for the future. Second, you can know what you passionate and what you excel at, and you can figure out where will you live. You will know what kind of life you want, and then when you will settling down, because within your Erasmus Mundus you will feel the dynamic of living. You will feel you will see different people, you will see different places, you will live in different countries, and you will master of all of this, and you will learn a lot from your mobility. And this also will help you to expand your career, not only your life. And so what you need to do to expand your career within your Erasmus Mundus, first one is to build your connection. First, from your classmate. Second, from the European Student Network. It's kind of a student organization where you will meet many Erasmus students. Uh, don't forget to join the language course, because sometimes they provide you with free language course. Well, in my consortium, I had this free language course every semester. And don't forget to join student activities, like not only party, but also like trip and social activities and other kind of activities. And don't forget to do a dating. I'm not talking about online dating. So in Erasmus Mundus, in every semester, they have this kind of WhatsApp group only for Erasmus students on that semester. So what you need to do is that every weekend you need to just chat. Hey guys, anyone want to go out with me? And then there will be someone who will go out with you. This is kind of like online dating, but very safe, because this group is only for Erasmus students who have the letter of acceptance. I mean, it's only exclusive for Erasmus students. And I did this every single time when I moved from one city to another. So I've got a lot of boys that I know, but of course we managed to have like a long relation as friends. We learn from each other, and then basically like we until today I still have these friends. And they're spread all around Europe. You just go dating, for example, like going to movie together, going to coffee together, and trust me, within your Erasmus, you will never feel lonely. There will be always someone there who wait for you, and they're also Erasmus students. So this is the fun of having a to build your connection within Erasmus. And then don't forget to upskill your passion. Of course, within the European languages, and don't forget to also join summer or winter course. And don't forget to have a museum or lab or company visit, and the elective course or classes. So this is also kind of a benefit of joining different, of studying in different campuses. For example, in Sapienza, in University of Rome Sapienza, I could enter to any courses that I want. For example, I entered one course in politics science that had nothing to do with my course, and it's free. As long as you have the ID card, I'm an Erasmus student, and then you can go enter to the class. As long as you don't, as long as you don't disturb it. So there are some kinds of elective course that you don't need to score. So it's like a free joining this course, and the classes that you need to score. So you need to have a score that will, of course, affect your GPA. So I recommend you to follow this course as well. Maybe there will be like a history course or painting course or art course that you want to enter and try. And of course, because this is Europe and most countries in Europe don't use English, sometimes you need to master the local language to join the classes. And then don't forget to join the local community. You never know, probably after your Erasmus Mundus you will settling down there. And then don't forget to also build your CV. At every university, they always have the job training. Don't forget to also have a talk and dialogue with your professors about career consultation. This also helped me to get my job right now. I had a talk with my coordinator of my Erasmus Mundus consortium, and how he told me like, you're very good at connection. I know you're good at chemistry, but your history kind of comme ça. I think you're good at making a network, so I think you need to try to apply at that job. And then next, also make several comparison between different career paths. You need to make a differences between, for example, academia, professional, industry A, industry B, industry C, and you make the best and worst of that, and you can plan about something. So this is also the sorry, I think I need to stop. Yes, this is the case example what I did. So I did this plan before I moved to Europe. I remember at that day I was in my last week in Jakarta, and I tried to map what I'm going to do during my master degree. So first semester when I was in Portugal, I was more focused on to see from scratch, to map, actually mapping my master degree as well. I more traveled to the countries that near in Portugal, and then I needed to search about the research, the possible research that I'm going to take. And then the second semester, I also traveled, of course, traveling with purpose, and yeah, started to propose my master's degree and see the other safer plans of the research. And then for the third semester, I focus only for one country because Italy is very big for cultural heritage. I even didn't finish Rome itself. And I tried to join some course by choice that also corresponds to my master's degree thesis. The summer course that I joined, it was a master summer course. I joined two summer course from my consortium, and summer course that I registered myself. Summer course that I registered myself was very connected with my master's degree. It was a summer course held by Oxford University in Belgium, and it's actually a summer course only for doctoral degree. But when I told them that I'm an Erasmus student and this is my specialization in the multidisciplinary whatsoever, and then they let me in. It was quite hard and difficult summer course because they're all doctoral students, but I made it. And then for the fourth semester, I focused on two things: my master degree thesis, my master thesis, and second, what I'm going to do after my um, thesis. What kind of job that I wanted? Well, also I applied to the job application and also job um, permit. Because after you graduated from your Erasmus, you have a right to apply the job seeking permit for 1 year. So you will have that permit ready, and then you can apply for a job. You don't need letter of acceptance, I think. So I don't quite know because when I applied my permit, I already have my contract. So, but I think it's without that. So don't worry. And then I think this is the last chapter about quick tips and tricks. I know that the Erasmus Mundus is a master degree, and you need to study. You need to get a great score. You need to go to conferences, summer course, lab work, fields, whatsoever. But don't forget to have fun, because within your Erasmus, probably you will meet your best friend of life. You will meet your soulmate. Yeah, I've got a lot of friends from Erasmus Mundus who met their wives and husbands. That maybe you will have, well, you will surely also have vacation during your mobility, and also don't forget about your mental health, and probably you will have a new hobby during your Mundus. So you will discover many things in a fun way, not only to advance yourself in the hot skill. So yeah, this is where the Erasmus Mundus going to be, between advance and fun. Also, this is some tips and tricks for me before you go to your campus. Before your mobility, don't forget to stalk your campus a month before. Learn about the student facility, library, student environment, canteen, and student club. So, especially for the canteen, in Greek universities, they will provide you meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for free. It's all free. So even for Saturday and Sunday. So they have like this big, super big canteen, and they have like two different menus for vegetarians. No, three: vegetarians, fish, and meat. So it's all fantastic. You will have main course, also this. Yeah, you will have appetizer, main course, and dessert as well. And that's really great. It means that what I'm saying is that sorry, what I'm saying is that if you have this kind of benefit for canteen, you can save your money for another thing. For example, maybe for traveling for purposes, maybe for joining another additional summer or winter course. So you need to look at your campus literally about everything on that. On that. And always keep all important documents signed and sealed. You never know what's going to happen to Europe. You never know what's going to happen next in your mobility, and you never know what's going to happen in your next country, because, for example, Portugal and Greece are different. Just saying, and Italy and Germany are different. So the rules are also different. Sometimes they will ask something that mind blowing, or make you a little bit having a mild hurt effect. So that's why I'm saying always keep this important document on your pocket: your passport, now your international vaccination book as well, and your tax proof, because different countries will have different tax. Yes, this is for you. Don't forget to save and write your experience alongside your documented videos and photos. Sometimes after your Erasmus, you will have this post-Erasmus syndrome. You will miss your friend. You will miss your Erasmus country. You will miss lots of things, and then for your personal document for family as well. And I know Erasmus is not an easy life. It's not an easy way to get a degree, but actually at the same time, it's a very fun way to get a degree. And this is what I feel after my Erasmus. I had these difficulties of settling down as well. Imagine after I began to work in Porto, every the end of the month, I always have my baggage, but I didn't know what to go, where to go. I didn't know what to do. It's like very difficult to stay at one place at the same time, because Erasmus Mundus is not 2 years in my life. It's my life in 2 years. I met the best friend that I have in my life. I had my soulmate, even though it's just only for 2 years. I experienced things that I never experienced before. I studied a lot of things. I connected with people that now I work with them. So if you get Erasmus Mundus scholarship, it's, trust me, it will be the best experience in your life probably, and the best thing happened in your Erasmus Mundus. So I hope you enjoy this presentation, and I hope you will enjoy your mobility as well. And I hope this presentation encourages you to apply Erasmus Mundus or enjoying your Erasmus Mundus. Thank you so much. Oh, for the last time, if you want to connect with me, you can go to LinkedIn, Shatilalgaf, or if you want to write something about Erasmus Mundus that I wrote before, you can go to shatilalgaf.eu or directly email me, shatilalgaf@gmail.com, and please don't add my Instagram, because if I don't know you, I will reject you, because that's only for friends and family. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kak Satila, for today's sharing. I can totally relate everything there. The tiredness, stressfulness, but yeah, having fun, things that you need to stop in your university, in your city that you will live on. Like you need to know everything before you move from one city to another. I can totally relate that. And now we have question and answer. Maybe everyone here has something to ask. I think we have two questions already. One from Sinta Amalia asking about the language course. So are the language courses facility will written down in the consortium website? Since I never found it in one of the Erasmus program that I plan to apply this year. So how did you find your your language course, Kak Shatila? Maybe you can answer this one first.
Okay, so the language course at the first semester it was a package of the courses that I would get. So when I came to Portugal, I came to my university. It's already there, including on my course. I was like, I didn't want to study Portuguese, but why? Okay, that's obligatory. Okay. For the first semester, it was obligatory, at least for my consortium. It was a package. But if you don't find it there, you ask your coordinator because every Erasmus student, including Erasmus exchange, they have a right to apply to the language course. That is your right as an Erasmus student. That is not you need to pay. No, that is your right. And the university already signed about that, and also the the um, the this is also the benefit of being in Erasmus. This is the commitment from the university and from the country where you're going to study to introduce the culture, and one of them is being the language. If you have any difficulties, you go to Erasmus Student Network and ask how about the language course in this country. They will help you about that. So don't worry, you will get that, and it's for free. And sometimes at some consortium, the grade, the score, it's not going to be part of your GPA, so no problemo. And well, sometimes it's gonna be. But imagine if you're studying chemistry at the same time you need to study Greek. Imagine Greek is not having a Roman alphabet; it's having Greek letter, and it's very different. So it's going to be catastrophe, and it's going to be bad on your GPA. And I believe that your consortium doesn't want that, and they make the language here as kind of a culture which you need to emphasize yourself by your habits, not by your academia. So also within the Erasmus Student Network, they will have a tandem activity where you will have a very main. You have an option to do how to exchange the language. So that tandem activity and combined by your language course would be great an example how to begin and advance the local language. So that's it.
Yeah, that's the answer from Kak Shatila. Maybe Kak Sinta want to ask more, or is enough, or you can directly ask Kak Shatila later. So yeah, in my program, I think it's also one package like yours. And then the
Oh, this
second,
is Spain.
yeah, in
Spanish.
Spain. In Spain, we have it like in my Erasmus program, we all have these obligatory language courses. So we need to take it like Portuguese, Spanish, and Turkish. That's in my curriculum. So no matter what happened, you need to take it. And then in Spain, we have this additional intensive course.
Okay, I didn't take Greek because I just didn't feel like I needed to take Greek. But I took Portuguese because it was obligatory,
Mm.
and I took Italian because I was so obsessed with having an Italian family. So I took Italian. In Italy, they have two different course: intensive course and daily course. So daily course, you do the language course alongside with your course alongside with your Erasmus Mundus classes. But in intensive course, you need to be there 2 months before,
Mm.
and then you will have this very intensive course within 2 months every day with that language. But it's all free. It's just the differences of the choices of time.
Yeah, there is a follow-up question here. So there is several obligatory languages and recommendation language courses, isn't it?
It's actually according to your consortium. If you don't want to take it, you can say it. But actually, there is no burden if you don't take it. It was obligatory for me to take Portuguese, even though I didn't quite like it, and I took Portuguese, but then it helped me during my everyday life. For example, I can know how to say when I wanted to buy shrimp. I know what to say. I don't want to eat pork. I know what to say about something else
When
within
you
the
want to
local.
order galau,
Yeah, uno kilo camarão per favore. But now I'm more into Italian, not Portuguese. But yeah,
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 the survival language for us here in Portugal, so you need to be with it. It's hard. I can imagine like Portuguese is harder than Spanish for me, at least.
yeah. That's why I also prefer Italian, because for Italian I can speak Italian well after only 2 months. But now I live in Portugal for about almost 3 years. I cannot speak Portuguese.
Yeah. I keep like answering in Spanish when they ask me in Portuguese. Like,
Yeah, I also answer in Italian. True.
Anyway, okay, so yeah, so we have in our program we have obligatory and we have not recommendation. It's like yeah, it can be recommendation or optional. So it really depends on your mobility. Another question from Maria Alberta. How about packing your belongings from one country to another? How how long does it take for you and to do so, and how chaotic it is?
So the thing about, oh my God, I remember that I had to do that every once in 2 months. So about moving from one country to another country, sometimes you will have your home, you will bring your home, and during your Erasmus Mundus, you will spend things that you don't need. And you will buy things that you don't need, but it's too cute, and then you buy it. And sometimes it will be a burden for you to package. So, um, actually, it's very hard. Yes, it's very hard. It's very chaotic. I needed to fit all of my home within two baggages. So sometimes I also separated which one that I'm going to give away for friends, for whatever, or for the charity, and then which one that I'm going to bring. That's why another tips and tricks, just whatever cute it is, don't buy it when you're in your Erasmus, because you're going to move anyway, and it's quite hard. It's really hard to separate things, and I usually needed like only 2 days to pack things in me, but after moving very often, I only need maybe 1 hour before going. I can do that right now. For example, if I had a call from my office in Bangin, Shatila, move here. In 1 hour, I can go. I can package because I did it many times. So don't worry about that. It's gonna be very easy. But what you need to worry about is your baggage uh, in the plane, because if it exists, you need to pay. But the safest one is go by bus. In Europe, it's very easy to move from one country to another country with bus. You don't need to show any, you don't need to show any ID when you pass from one country to another. It's literally like you're moving to different provinces in Indonesia, and it's very cheap as well. It's called by Flixbus. This is not sponsored, but I'm a loyal customer. So with the Flixbus, you can move from another country to different country. But imagine if you move from Portugal into Greece. Portugal is in the west, and Greece is basically the country that very near with Asia. If you go by bus, it will take like maybe, I don't know, 3 days, and it's
It'll take
gonna
forever.
it's very difficult, because you also need to pass Balkan countries, which some part of them are not part of the European Union, like Serbia. Serbia is not a part of European Union, and they don't have Flixbus there. I mean, passing those countries, so you need to go by plane. That's also what you need to consider. If you move, for example, from Spain to France, you can go by Flixbus. But if you need to go from that country, or for example, from uh, Portugal to Dublin, Ireland. Okay, if you want to go by ferry or by boat, but come on, there is a plane as well. But yeah, you need to consider about your excess baggage. That's all. But everything is going to be very easy when you're very used with it. You're going to be expert on it.
Yeah, package. Uh, Yep, packing is one of the skill that I leveling up here. It's like I've been in C2 packing level because I need to move every 6 months. So yeah, like what Mbak Satila said, like we need to be like very mindful with the things that we buy. Like every time I try to count my stuff, it's like, is this what I really need or what I really want? And then if I buy two things, I need to take out two things as well. So that's my formula to make things easier for me to move from one country to another. So just don't. We are girls. I know, like you want to buy dolls, you want to buy ceramic, maybe because Portugal has very pretty ceramic. Like you want to buy everything because you know that you maybe like you we only live here for 2 years for the master. Maybe I need to go home. I need to buy stuff that can brings me to the memory that when I live in Europe. But yeah, that's pretty hard here. So you need to make sure that you want to bring what you buy, what you have already like committed to have there in your luggage. So yeah, that's also another skills that you need to practice, that you will practice eventually here as an Erasmus. So that's the question, Mbak Shatila, for everyone here. I think if everyone has a question I want to ask directly to Mbak Shatila, you can just raise hand and ask about everything. Maybe I don't know. But Shadila Algas keep saying about keep like try to start the bonding with the friends, and maybe you can find as well soulmates of best friend of your life, and then that's also part of this program, that you don't only focus on your study but you also try to focus on your social life. But Shadila, how what is the hardest part of uh, making connection, for example, with local, because we don't really speak the language? And how do you find it difficult to connect with locals, or with, I don't know, making friends, or like make the relationship works with local maybe? So
Um,
how is it?
well, the difficulties of making I had a very I don't know how you call by different kind of life before and after Erasmus Mundus. And when I came to Europe, I was very innocent. And first, the fact that I was very innocent. Second, I didn't drink alcohol, so it's quite difficult for me to have engage on their conversation because they keep drinking beer. This is because they are Europeans drinking beers. In Indonesia, it's like drinking iced tea. So it's quite difficult for me to engage with that kind of life. And also, they really like to party so much, and I don't like to party so much. I feel like I'm kind of missing something. But then again, there are also some people that they like to engage a deep conversation. They like to go to the museums. They like to have another different activities such as sport or studying together. So I managed to meet these people. I managed to make a connection with these people. And yeah, it's basically it's like a relationship. Sometimes you just don't connect with someone, and then you find another one. And local people are very nice to me. When I was in Italy, I engaged with many local people, so I studied more my Italian with the barista of my university canteen rather than I'm sorry, rather than my teacher in the class. I remember, so when I came to Europe, I only spoke French. I didn't know anything about Italy, so it was my first day at campus, and I wanted to eat something. So I just remember about croissant, and I know how to spell it in French because it's a French, in French language as well. So I said like, "Hello, can I have that croissant?" And then he said like with a very loud Italian, I was like, no, per favore, this is cornetto, you in Italy, this is not France, huh? And then I was like, oh my god, everybody looked at me, but it happened, and I was very shy, and this guy seemed angry, but he's not angry. Okay, and then I learned how to spell it, cornetto, cornetto, cornetto per favore. So he literally taught me how to order, uno cornetto per favore. And then I spelled that again and again, uno cornetto per favore, and then I went there again afterwards for the second time. I managed to say that. I managed to say uno cornetto per favore, and then I didn't know, and then I wanted to order coffee milk, and I didn't know how to say it in Italian. I only know how to say it in French, and I said caffè per favore, and then it was again, Mamma mia, you are in Italy, come on! And then he introduced me to caffè latte, and then afterwards we become friends. This is very strange, but we become friends. And every single day that I went to this canteen, I always learned something new in Italian. So this is how you connect with local people. They are very nice. Sometimes they have different kind of way to approach you, but you just need to be polite, and you just need to accept that they really want to connect in a different way. Maybe if you're in Indonesia, you will never find this kind of a canteen guy sorting out to you saying corretto, no, non parlo francese, per favore. But in Italy, you will meet this kind of lot of people who are going to shout at you, but they're friendly. That's just the Italian way. So that's the different kind of culture and how you connect with local people. I think we are still friends somehow. So yeah.
You make you made him like a great impression. Like teaching you something is also, you know, mark something in his heart.
Yeah.
Maybe. But Shatila is really good with a man.
No.
But Shatila, I think your voice is keep echoing in me. I don't know if
Oh, okay,
everyone else
sorry.
is here. I don't know. Maybe you can like adjust the voice. It's kind of echoing.
Okay. I
Try.
think there's another question.
We have another question, but can you try again the voice? Maybe the audio.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, cafe is also the best place to learn language, especially how you pronounce something.
How about now?
Still a little bit.
Oh, I think.
So while we have another question from Muhammad. It is asking about how to get a career in Europe. How do we get a career in Europe in European Union? Do we have to become European Union citizen by giving up Indonesian citizenship?
No. I'm still Indonesian, although next year I have a right to apply for a Portuguese passport. No. You have your rights. You're a human and you have rights to work anywhere you want. As long as you have work permit, as long as you have a contract, as long as you got accepted in the company. So that's why before you graduated, I already stated it in my presentation, before you graduated, you need to apply this uh, job seeking permit, because when you applied it, they will ask that. And once you have that resident job seeking permit, they usually just like, okay, let's go, work with us. So that's very easy. You don't need to leave your Indonesian nationality. And also, it's not easy to get a European passport. You need to wait until several years. For example, in Portugal, you need to wait until 4 years. In Italy, you need to wait until 10 years. I think in Spain, it's also 10 years. In French, probably more difficult. If you don't marry a European, it's very difficult in France. In another country, it's also difficult. It's not just like, oh, okay, I'm going to work in Europe, I'm going to have a European citizenship. No, it's not that easy. Also, because a European passport is very, very strong, and many people want to be European, so it's not an easy thing. You just not, and also you cannot just let go your nationality. It's not easy, even though you live for many years in other countries. It's just not easy to let go your nationalities. It's a process. It's basically administration process. You need to consider about your future as well, so it's not easy. But finding a job is easy in Europe. Why? First, because you're Indonesian. You're unique, you have the experiences that the European don't have. Second, it's easy if you have the skills that you need to use in your job. And the third, it's easy because you are seen. For example, you apply between these European people, and then boom, you come out. You are the only one who has different color skin. You are the only one who has different name, and you are the only one who has different skill. Probably in Indonesia, during your bachelor degree, you learn different kind of skills. So it's somehow they will see you. So I guarantee that finding a job in Europe is easy as long as you want to try, as long as you keep trying, as long as you're not surrender during the way, as long as you prepare things. It's gonna be very easy. And also, it's gonna be very easy if you speak European languages. I'm not talking about English. It's French, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, German, and also because I think the European Commission started to change, at least Maria Gabriel, the commissioner, started to change the speech in French after the UK exit European Union. So most of European countries right now literally and very much encourage to use their language. So studying and knowing European language before you enter Europe, it's going to be a very big asset for you. I'm not saying it's obligatory, but it's going to be a big asset. That's why during your Erasmus Mundus, don't forget to join the free language course. It will help you really.
Yeah. If I can add, I'm also working right now here, and we don't need to giving up our citizenship is not that easy. So you just need, like what Mbak Satila said, you just need a working permit and get through the interview or something that you need to do in the company that you are applying for, and then when you get accepted, you work, and then that's with the working permit. And then, if I may also adding to this the opportunity of working in Europe, if you are graduated from the Erasmus program, there is this one specific visa in Netherlands that is open for trial for working permit. Maximum 2 years or 1 year after your graduation, you can apply for working visa in Netherlands, especially for some specific lists. Like for example, the graduated from 10 best university in the world and also Erasmus graduate program. So imagine you have this if you enter the Erasmus, if you are Erasmus student, you have this privilege as well to apply for the working visa in Europe through Netherlands government. That's also the thing.
Also in Portugal.
And Portugal as well. Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
yes. I
Yeah.
applied that.
I'm
It
looking.
was like because of the COVID, I didn't get it, and then they sent me 1 year after, but it was just because of the COVID. And also um another, I don't know, maybe privilege of being an Erasmus Mundus student. Uh, it was in immigration office in Evora. I remember that. I waited for so long, but then when I said I'm an Erasmus Mundus student with the European Commission logo on my letter, and they were like, "Oh, come in," but other people was like outside. So showing that you're a part of the grantee from European Commission really help you.
Yeah,
Many ways.
exactly. They make things easier for us.
Yes.
Extending my student permit and they give me working permit. It's like,
Yes.
okay, thank you. I'm gonna continue to live here. We get kind of it. So it's a privilege. So okay, if anyone still have any questions, you can just raise hands. So if not, we can just wrap up this session. But Shatila can share maybe uh, your closing statement, Mbak Shatila.
My
About
closing remarks. I don't know. I don't have any closing remarks because my closing remarks were sorry. Yes. I don't know. I don't have any closing remarks, but probably, yeah, Erasmus Mundus is not 2 years in my life, but it's a life in 2 years. I experienced many things, and this is not just only me, but also my friends. And do try to apply to Erasmus Mundus. Do try to get it. I tried for 2 years. I got accepted in different scholarships as well, but I was so passionate about Erasmus Mundus. I studied Erasmus Mundus since I was in middle school. After I read Andrea Hirata's novel, I studied all about Erasmus Mundus, the program, the theme, what I needed to go, what I needed to take to get that. I started to build up my CV for Erasmus Mundus since I was in middle school. And after I waited for 2 years, I applied in 6 different consortiums. No, three at 1 year, and then next three for the next year. I got accepted in 2 different Erasmus Mundus consortiums, and I finally chose the master degree that I had. Um, and it feels very difficult. It is very difficult because Erasmus Mundus is an award. Not everybody can get that privilege. Not everybody can get an award. And you need to work extra hard for that. Imagine I worked my Erasmus Mundus since I was in middle school. It's not like, okay, I apply and I got it. There are some people who do that, who get that, who have that fortunate accident, that fortunate events as well. But sometimes you need to work extra hard to get it. And the fact that your Erasmus Mundus classmates are not just the people that they picked. No, I studied with the head of Museum of National Egypt. I studied with the people who manage the National Museum in Brazil. I studied with the people on top, on their level in my degree. I felt like I was nothing. When I went to my first semester, I asked myself, why am I here? All of my classmates are the best people on my field, and I felt like I'm so stupid. But then afterwards, after my Erasmus, I studied more, and I understand why I was there, and then it changes all my perspective as well. So if you really want to get it, you need to work hard for it, and I think you're gonna get it because if you're mind on it, you're just gonna get it at the very right time when you're ready to go, when you're ready to have everything. I have a best friend who fought for Erasmus Mundus for 5 years. So she didn't do anything for 2 years. I think, yeah. Well, for 2 years she worked at the voluntary job because she thought about having Erasmus Mundus at the time, but then he still got rejected. And then for the 3 years, she finally worked in a professional job, and then after she finally got it. And I was so freaking happy when she finally got it, and she will study in Austria, uh, Belgium, and Germany. And she got the best Erasmus Mundus consortium. I mean, the best on her field. After she worked hard, she couldn't stop to taking IELTS, another IELTS. Imagine taking IELTS every year. You're gonna be very very tired for that, and that's a process. You will get awarded if you're not tired and if you're never surrender. So best of luck, and don't forget to have fun in your Erasmus Mundus, and don't forget to try to date Erasmus student. Okay, so that's my closing remarks. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, Kak Shatila, for the remarks. You need to try hard. I think Mbak Shatila is freezing. Okay. Yeah, you need to try hard. If you really want it, you're gonna put an effort and time to get it. So, everyone, before we close this session, I would like to remind you that all the sessions here we have in Udemy Fest will be available in our YouTube channel and as well available in our udemy.id website. So keep You can take a look at our website for the upcoming event and the previous event. And then I would like to also invite everyone here to open up the camera so we can take a pictures with Kak Shatila virtually.
I actually just woke up.
Yeah, me too. Just woke up as well and put on lipstick. And ta-da, I'm ready. So yeah, I will take.
There's a cat!
Oh,
Oh my god, I miss my cat!
so it's cat lover. So yeah, I can try. I can start to take screenshot from here. 1, 2, 3. Another one. 1, 2, 3. I still have two more. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Last one. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you so much, Kak Shatila, for being here with us and sharing the experience. And I hope we can connect again soon in the other occasion. And then I would like to remind everyone that tomorrow we still have a topic on literacy of financial. So we will learn about financial literacy and how to plan and budgeting your how to plan your Erasmus or study abroad in terms of budgeting and financial, because we know that we need to prepare fund and cost to apply for IELTS and stuff. So don't forget to join tomorrow's event as well. And then happy weekend. Bye bye. See you everyone.
Thank you, Kak. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Kak.
Thank you,
Yes, you can
Kak.
contact my LinkedIn.
What?
There's a question, can I connect with your LinkedIn? Yes, yes.
Yeah, you can. But not Instagram, I guess.
No, Instagram, no. I posted a lot of things.
You cannot stalk Mbak Shatila in Instagram.
Bye.